Hey guys, Emeka here. How's it going? In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can make your first $1,000 a month with Kindle publishing. I decided to do this video on a whim. I don't have any notes. I don't have a script or anything. I just got a couple thoughts of where I want to take it with this video. But this is one I've wanted to do for a while. As you may or may not know, I've been making over $1,000 a month with Kindle for quite a few months in a row now. And, I just wanted to offer a couple of my thoughts and how I got there and share my experience with you in the hopes that by me doing this, it will do a few things for you. One, it'll speed up your learning curve. Basically, it'll help you make $1,000 a month in a faster period of time than you might do it on your own. Two, show you're not alone. That, hey, like, I'm here, others are doing it. Yes, it works. It's something lots of people have done before you and lots of people will continue to do after. And three, I don't really know. So let's just kind of dive into the goods of this video, all right? So making your first $1,000 with Kindle publishing, exciting. It is. I remember when I hit that threshold, I didn't actually hit it. I went from 500 to 2,000. But somewhere along there, I'm sure I was watching my royalties and they hit 1,000. I was like, wow, I can't believe I've done it. Really, really cool feeling. And you'll get to experience it at one point if you haven't. But really, the first thing that I think of is it comes down to the same thing that takes you from 1,000 to 5,000 or 5,000 to 10,000. It's your mindset. See, having the right mindset, the right mental attitude is going to be the determining factor on whether or not you're going to make it in this business or not. See, there's many ways to look at it. When you're new, you are no longer if you were like the top dog in your field, you're no longer the top dog. You're a little puppy in this, in this big kennel, so to speak. You're experiencing everything for the first time. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to, potentially lose a few dollars. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to go through all of those things that I've gone through and I continue to go through from time to time that all successful publishers have gone through. So your mindset has to be the right one. And the right one is this. It's knowing that you're going to commit to the process and you know what end goal you want down the road. Expecting to make $1,000 off your first book is completely ridiculous. Your first book most likely will fail and suck. Being straight up with you. As much as you want it to succeed, and you do, because my first book, I wanted it to be the best, and oh my gosh, I wanted that book to do so well. And you will too, and that's good. That's what you should want, but it's most likely not going to happen. That's reality, because you know what? Your first book is exactly that. It's your first book. You have to pay the tax. You have to pay the learning tax, so to speak. You have to make mistakes. You have to screw up. You have to go through all of those experiences first, because every time you go through it, you learn and you get better and better. So having a strong mental attitude, having a strong mindset is above anything else. Above anything else. Because, and I've started to see it. People who've been following me for a little while, and they're not as excited or whatever. And I've been talking to people I've been working with, and you have to understand that your first book most likely won't be your money-making book. It is your first book to teach you the process so that when you do your second book, it's a little bit better. And then that second book is purely designed to teach you more things and more lessons so that when you publish your third book, it is that much better. And it may take you 4 books, like it took me. It may take you 5, 6, or 7 books. But the important thing is that you know where you're at and that you're improving each and every book. Okay, rule of thumb, each book you make should average about $100 in income. So if you wanted to, how many books do I need to make to $1,000 a month? Well, on average, it's 10 books. It most likely will take you less books if you're following a good program. But things to keep in mind. Things to keep in mind. So having a strong mental attitude is by far the most important trait, or whatever you want to call it there. Second thing is don't follow blindly. Number 2, don't follow blindly. What I mean by this is, I've taken a couple Kindle courses, and I love just reading comments of publishers and newbies and whatnot, and they come from one course and go to another, or vice versa, and it's totally okay. But I can't get over the amount of publishers that follow a course blindly and not question anything. And don't get me wrong, when I started and I was following the course and I was doing everything to the T, and I did that for my first 2 books. And I was like, all right, whatever, yeah. But what I was doing on the side was I was learning from every single other publishing blog I could, and kept learning. Because one course will not teach you everything. If anyone says that their course is the end-all and be-all and you should only follow their course, I'd run in the opposite direction of somebody who says that, because that's so not the right way of doing things, right? Because, so I did those first 2 books, followed it, and the 3rd book I was like, hey, let me try something else. I don't like how I was doing all of this and using all my time to do this. So I'm not going to do that this time. And I published my 3rd book, and lo and behold, my results were better. And I did less effort. So that really, it was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of onto something there. And, I kept doing that with different books. Even today, I still publish books, and I'll try new things, because the Amazon, it's always evolving, it's always changing. No one has all the answers. So you have to make sure that, don't be afraid to go out and try things. Now, when you're new and money's tight, don't spend money on more things. Limit your budget. Okay. In fact, when you're new, you should be spending 0 money on promotion, except for when you're doing your VA promotion with reviews. But you shouldn't be spending any real money on promotion outside of that. So you need to make sure that you follow things, but you also question things, and don't be afraid to try out other things. I spoke about this in another video I did the other day, that Amazon pay-per-click ads. Right now I'm getting some great results with some of my ads. And so many people have told me that they don't really work and they're not that profitable. Well, I'm making money off them. So, because in reality is, people who've designed a course is not saying anything wrong, but they design it based on their experience, right? Your experience can be totally different, right? So some courses promote that social media is not a big, it's a waste of time. My top-selling book would be dead without social media promotion. I constantly am involved in social media for that niche. My readers reach out to me. They invite me to events. I send a tweet out to buy a book, to review a book, and I get reviews and sales right away because of that. Social media is huge for that one niche I'm in. So make sure that you follow, but you question. Wherever you're getting your advice. I hope that really makes sense, because that seemed like kind of a long-winded answer. So anyways, so what are some other more tactical things that you could be doing to make your first $1,000? Is, well, understand that you need to invest money. And, whether or not you have $500 to invest or $100 to invest, it doesn't matter, but you do need to invest money. You have to invest money in books, in good quality books, not 5,000 words, none of that. proper quality books, 75 to 10,000 minimum books, and not word books, not actual books, but know that you have to invest a little bit of money, because there's that saying, it takes money to make money, and this business is just like that. You have to spend a bit of money to make money. And now I'm at the point, I was just doing some of my reports, and my publishing costs last month were just under $1,000. It's the highest month ever. But I'm doing that now because I have a lot more money. So I'm in the process right now of scaling up. So I'm spending more money, knowing that that money will start coming in over the next few weeks and months. But when I was new, hey, I was spending as little as possible. I was doing as much work myself as possible to keep costs down and to keep, my revenue and income as high as possible. I also kept, I remember when I was coming up with my first little bit of money, I had some savings, but then also every paycheck I was getting from my job, I think I was just taking 10% of it right away before I did anything else. And I was just putting that into my Amazon business. Just 10% of every paycheck. Before I paid for anything, it was just 10% in to the Amazon business, because that was my ticket out. So I wanted to make sure I fueled that before I fueled anything else. So, but what else? So we have point number 1, have a strong mindset. Point number 2, don't follow blindly. Don't be afraid to try out new things. And point number 3 is be willing to invest a little bit of money. Looking back on my experience on, what it took me to make my first $1,000 is, I guess the 4th point I talk about is be patient. This is key. It's something I still continue to work on today, but patience is so key. Understanding it's going to take time. It took me about 4.5 months to make my first $1,000. I worked with somebody who, the book that, if you were following my launch of the front row factor book, it made over $1,000 its first day. So that individual was pretty happy with that result. But it takes patience. It takes patience. So just know that you need to be in it for a slightly long. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, right? That's not what Kindle publishing is. It's something that takes work, and you have to build it up the right way to start getting the return on your investment. So, yeah, that's definitely a key one. Definitely a key one for new publishers. Number 5. Here's a good one. Reach out to those more successful than you and get help. I did that quite a bit. And, I Facebook message people and I'm ever so grateful for them responding to me. And I think almost everyone responded to me. And, they were just people in other Facebook groups, and I was kind of reading, and I saw they were making some money. So I was like, ooh, I should ask that person, a question. And I still do that from time to time. And I'm so grateful when I get a response from them, because, they're kind of, giving back. And, I'm like that, right? You guys know that if you've messaged me on Facebook or sent me an email, and, I respond, and, cause I want to be able to kind of give back, and, it's just keep it all flowing. So reach out to others who are more successful than you, whether it's me or other people, but reach out to them, because by doing that, you shorten your learning curve, right? Learn from their mistakes so you don't make them. My mentor, for example, he was a guy that, I knew he was successful, and, I sent him a message in December, I think it was, and he's like, hit me up in January. And I knew that was a test, because if I didn't, and because I bet a lot of people don't, right? But if I didn't, then, then he ensured that I wasn't wasting his time. But I did, and I followed up again and again and again. And, it's had a huge impact on my business. So make sure you reach out to people who are more successful than you. So anyways, I believe those are 5 tips there. Those tips to help you make your first $1,000 with Kindle publishing. Obviously, there's more. I'll continue to do videos like this, but hey, let me call you on it right now. What's one thing that you want some work on, that you want to work on in your publishing business today? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see if I can help you out with that. But other than that, guys, give me a thumbs up. Did this video help? Should we do more of these tips videos? Let me know with the thumbs up. Appreciate that. And as always, if you're new, hey, nice to meet you. Check out the other videos on my channel. Please consider subscribing if you like what you're seeing. And until next time, guys, take care. Point number 2 was, shit. What was point number 2? Point number 2. All right.